Hello, my name's Siobhan Barratt and I work as a conservator for the National Trust. With the COVID pandemic throughout last year and continuing this year, access to our properties and collections has been severely limited. Essential monitoring tasks were identified as a priority last March and carried out by a skeleton staff throughout the year. However, it has become clear that some objects would require more detailed condition assessment and expertise. The need may have been identified through clauses in loan agreements, deteriorating or vulnerable condition, or just the opportunity to gain access where it is not normally possible due to properties being open. With constraints of physical access due to lockdowns, but also reductions in travel budgets, innovative ways of condition assessing remotely have been trialled, and I'm going to talk through today quickly with you one such case at Ightham Mote. This very large 17th century tapestry hangs high in the Great Hall at Ightham Mote in Kent. Normally inaccessible even from a ladder, we'd been observing and monitoring from a distance its deterioration and decline. Late last year, a scaffold was erected in the space due to concerns about the stability of plasterwork at ceiling level. Without visitors being allowed on site, this gave the ideal opportunity to also gain access to the tapestry. As Regional Conservator responsible for Ightham Mote, my role was to be Mariah Jordan's eyes on site. Mariah Jordan is our textile conservation specialist in the National Trust. To facilitate the process and ensure we captured as much relevant information as possible, Mariah sent a useful crib sheet prior to the assessment with instructions on how to plan the time and images of typical signs of damage to note. This enabled me, as a non-tapestry specialist, to focus on what was important. The tapestry was divided into 20 equal sections, and we allowed 7.5 minutes per section. We agreed 3 hours was the maximum time we should spend on the process, and we wanted to ensure we spent equal time on each section. Connectivity at Ightham is very poor, so we had to bring in Wi-Fi and we used WebEx as the platform. I had an iPhone to film and Mariah was observing on her computer in Norfolk. Using WebEx, we were able to record the whole process and also have an automatic transcription produced. Mariah had prepared her own paperwork with an outline of the tapestry divided, so she was able to annotate the drawing and take photos of the damage from the computer. It all worked surprisingly well, mainly as a result of good thorough preparation beforehand. The process was intense and conditions weren't too comfortable for me on site, so it was good to have time limit built in and also build in breaks. Until current constraints due to COVID improve or are resolved, we realise there will be a continued need to undertake some condition checking by remote means across the National Trust, and a task and finish group has been set up to create a protocol. This will identify when, why, and for what reasons virtual or remote condition checks can take place, and ensure that these checks deliver the right information. We will consider different situations, for example, condition checking a single high-value complex item, such as a tapestry or oil painting, or numerous multiple items, such as stored photographs, objects located outside, such as garden statuary, and rural collections in remote areas. Areas such as handling and equipment and the experience of staff and future training will all be considered. There is no intention to move entirely to remote condition checking, as it may be wholly inappropriate due to an object's complexity, significance or condition, and the safety of both the staff and the objects are paramount. However, as we move forward post-COVID, there is still a place for condition checking carried out remotely. We have benefited from the reduced time given to travel, thus also helping reduce travel for climate change reasons, which is an ongoing concern for the National Trust. Significantly, we have experienced enhanced study, discussion and learning about different material disciplines between conservators and between conservator and house staff, and that must be a positive for both us and our collections. Thank you for listening.